On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m. you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill. Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 gets you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to this edition of Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Tuesday, the 20th day of June. Wow. The month is already gone. Could you imagine this, man? Wow. Time is really going. Nonetheless, how are you doing? How was your night? Did you have a restful night? Yeah, I did, you know. That's all I did. Slept like a baby. I got the remedy for the flu, man. A lot of fluids, some herbs here and there, but a whole lot of rest. Yeah, that's what I did. So just in case you intend on catching the flu, make sure you have enough time to rest and, you know, yeah. It works. Saying good morning to you, Cynthia B. She says good morning, Marilyn Gordon also. Bless, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Gordon, all right. Gracelyn Ruben says good morning. So too does Catherine Phillip. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Innocent. Hopefully you are feeling better today. Yes, I am feeling much better. Veronica Sandy, good morning, GBN Grenada. Good morning, Gordon, Innocent, Joseph. Blessings to everyone. Thank you and same to you. Lydia Cameron says good morning, Innocent, and to the entire Tri-Island state. How you do, Lydia? Booked the flight already? Nice. Good. Anne-Marie Thomas, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anne-Marie. How are you doing this morning? Good morning to you, Petlin, also out there in Munich. Hope you're doing fine. I want to say good morning to all the past students of St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville. Yeah, good morning to you, Alpha Farry, and your team. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah. Good morning. And I hope you have a good day, man. Yep. Those of you who are just about leaving the job, You know, you had to work last night. The security officers, the medical practitioners, the police officers. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Let's get with the program. The word of the day today, it is a noun. And it is the word nudnik. 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 This is a rather interesting word, yeah? A nudnik refers to a person who is a bore or a nuisance. Nudnik. Someone who is a bore or a nuisance, someone who is loaded with boredom. All they do is bore you. You ever been in a situation where someone keeps talking to you and all your responses are yeah, nothing substantive in response? Yeah, boring you, man. And sometimes in your mind you're saying, hey, shut the hell up, man. But you're not saying it. That's a nudnik. Nice. Okay, good. Can you identify a nudnik today? Try and do that. Okay, here's how we can use that word. And we can say that we can use it this way. She dreads family gatherings as her nudnik of a brother-in-law is always sure to be there droning on about this or that. Yeah, giving you information that you never requested, telling you things that they intend to do and things that they just did. And how does that change the price of the gas in my vehicle? It is often said a wise person is one who speaks less. Yeah. You are blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth. God was no idiot. He knows what he was doing. You're supposed to listen more than you talk. That's what he was trying to tell you from creation. But some folks just yap. Oh my goodness. There was a time I was like that. Yeah. Nonetheless, folks, let's go to Nadisha's favorite part of the program, the thought of the day. Good morning to you, Nadi. How is the family? Hope everybody is fine. As a matter of fact, everybody in cafe. Miss Holmes and family. Holmesy. That's how we usually refer to each other. She said, when 2 elephants fight, is the grass that is suffer, Miss Holmes, good morning to you and the entire home circle. All right, the thought of the day. It's not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something. Yeah. It's not enough to have lived. All right? When your eulogy is being read, it shouldn't just say, oh, well, Gordon Innocent Joseph lived from 1946 to 2023. You can say that he lived for this. He loved farming. He loved his children. He loved family. Live for something. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So it is not enough to have lived. No, not at all. We should always be determined to live for something. Or you'll die for nothing, you understand? Live for something or you'll die for nothing. 21 minutes on to 7. That is the time. Oh my goodness. Marilyn Gordon says, I have a lot of nudnik in my circle. Okay. All right. Sylvina Child says, good morning, Paula Paul. How are you doing today? Okay, Paula Paul says, good morning, Mr. Gordon. Trying to keep my eyes open at work. Had a long day and a jury duty yesterday. Oh my goodness. Did you send anyone to prison? I hope not. Jennifer Lawrence says, good morning all. Walland Aquat. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Stay safe. Do the correct things. I try my best. Anne Mary Thomas, good morning, everyone. Sylvina Charles. Paula Paul, how are you doing today? All right. right. All right. Good. Let's get on with the program, all right? And what's buzzing this morning? Of course, by now, the 29th of July is forthcoming, and it's coming quickly. That is the date for the Maggie King of the Grill at the Montrouge playing field. All right. It starts from 12 noon, and it's going to be entertainment galore. Coming down, yeah, coming down. There'll be lots of fun and excitement, games and, events and a lot of good food. Yeah, I know a lot of folks will be coming for that. Yeah, nice. So it's oncoming, the Maggie King of the Grill. Good. What else is buzzing this morning at 20 minutes on to 7? Police have confirmed the discovery of a male body on the beach on Sunday, BBC's beach. The body was identified as 24-year-old Josiah Robinson, also known as Jonty, of Lansepin in St. George. Oh boy, I do hope that the investigation is completed and it is found that no foul play was involved, because then we have a big case on our hands. Also heard of a man was found hanging from a tree in his backyard in St. Andrew yesterday morning. Neighbors and family members were shocked to wake up to the bad news. I have to do some following up on that. With my sickness, my ailment yesterday, I didn't do much, just rested basically. I'll find out who, because I understand it happened somewhere in Dunfermline, which is really my hometown. Yeah? So I'll find out some more. Now, the St. George's High Court has started taking evidence in the non-capital murder trial involving Lamode St. George resident Kellon Andrew. Andrew was arrested and charged in March of 2019 in connection with the stabbing to death of Floyd Olive, who resided in the same community. Good. What else is buzzing this morning? All right. After 18 months of work with the Grenada National Training Agency, that is the GNTA, 20 swim instructors are now qualified to take their skills to another level. That's good. If I'm not mistaken, I think my dad is one of those, he loves swimming, so. Good. And this is recurring, but it's still buzzing. The St. George's High Court has taken a decision to set aside a default judgment obtained by opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell in January of 2021 in a defamation case filed in July 2020 against Claudette Joseph. She's now Grenada's Attorney General. So there's a court date set. Yeah, they got to go to court. All right. Well, those are the main stories buzzing. We do not have any scheduled guests this morning, and so we'll have an open line for conversation. We can talk on any of these, and if there are any other buzzing matters in your community that you'd like to bring to the fore, we'd like to entertain that as well. Of course, we're going to keep our calls short and brief and to the point as possible, and keeping within the parameters of morality and no slander and name calling and so forth. All right, I want to say good morning to Mr. Husbands and the management of Nawasa. Yeah, good morning to you all. My good bro Wendell, enjoy your vacation, boy. Be a good boy as you always are. Also to the folks at Grenlec, the management and staff at Grenlec, and of course my inner core friends in there, Miss Lydia Francis Courtney, Miss Prudence Greenwich, Miss Lord have mercy, Miss Slocum, Miss Leslie Barry, the security officers in Dusty Highway. And good morning to all of you. All right, keep up your dedicated and committed levels of service. Yeah. So folks, those of you who are on our television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news, and those of you who are locked here with us on Classic, we've got the AM edition of news, sports, and the weather. Sylvina Charles, I told you good morning, Innocent. You did not read it. Good morning, Sylvina. How are you? All right. Camelia Filbert, good morning, Mr. Gordon. Good morning to you. Lynette Hercules. Blessings, Mr. Joseph. Lynette, how you doing? Long time no see. All right, how's the family? You've got a big family now? All right. We've got to take that break and do the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather, folks. See you on the flip side of 7. Bye-bye. See you.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. We start with an update in Friday's newscast. GBN promised to update you on a private aircraft that crashed in Grenada's waters on Friday evening. The latest report on the incident has revealed that 2 persons were rescued and are now safe on the island. Rena Pierre-Thomas tells us more in this report.
The Maurice Bishop International Airport Air Traffic Control confirmed that they received a distressed call alerting them of the engine failure of a Piper aircraft en route from Margarita to Grenada and approved the pilot's request for an emergency landing at the MBIA on Friday evening. Regrettably, the aircraft crashed approximately 14 miles off the coast of Grenada, which prompted the activation of the Grenada Airports Authority's emergency response plan. The pilot of the aircraft, Daniel Lazaria, an Italian national, re-encountered his experience.
It was so fast, I really don't know what the problem was with the engine. And my only thing was try to make it in the water and not kill myself. I just wanted to glide and try to hit the water as clean as possible. I was able to do that. Myself and the passenger were not hurt, harmed, or anything. We just grabbed the raft, got on the raft, and just started praying. And I noticed the tower, we had an emergency, and tower communicated me that they were going to immediately call the Coast Guard. And if it wasn't for the Coast Guard, I wouldn't be telling you this story right now. They were extremely fast, professional, serious, and kind. I have no word for them. And for the rest of my life, I owe my life to them.
The pilot said that during the ordeal, he was terrified that he would never again see his 7-year-old daughter and wife back home. He explained that as they sat in a small raft waiting for help, he was not optimistic that they would be found in time. The owner of the aircraft, Jose Gomez, also commended the Grenada Coast Guard for their quick response, as he too was worried about not seeing his family again.
Really, he was just praying that somebody rescue them, because he didn't know what to explain how he felt at the moment. Understanding that their lives could have been lost.
Both men received medical attention at the General Hospital, where they were medically cleared and discharged. Inspector Dexter Roberts of the Grenada Coast Guard said they received the distress call at about 1 p.m. After notifying neighboring countries, they sprang into action.
If we were able to deploy an asset or send a vessel out at sea to really investigate the matter. The call coming from the airport said that there was a small aircraft in distress somewhere around 14 miles south of the airstrip. So we deployed that vessel and they went in the general area and continued our search, or started searching basically. In incidents like these, there is a regional effort as well, and that is where the regional security system comes into play. So we inform Barbados as well, because that's the head office of the regional security system. We also inform Trinidad and Tobago, because they are the coordinating center for search and rescue within the southern region of the Caribbean. So it is protocol that we involve these areas or these countries whenever we have situations like these, especially for aerial assets in terms of aircraft to do such. We are the Coast Guard in Grenada. We're very limited in terms of aircraft, and the Trinidad Regiment, they have helicopters and aircraft that we normally would use to do such a rescue out in the deep water whenever we have situations like that.
Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Honorable Deacon Mitchell also commended all parties for their quick action, which resulted in the successful rescue of the persons on board. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Beach police have confirmed the discovery of a male body on the BBC beach on Sunday. The body has been identified as 24-year-old Josiah Robinson, also known as John T. of Lansapine, St. George. Nisha Paul has the details.
The doctor and the mother of the deceased were the first two witnesses to give evidence when the matter commenced. Details surrounding a suspicious weekend death remain sketchy. However, many are suspecting foul play in the death of Josiah Robinson, also known as Jointy, whose lifeless body was discovered Sunday afternoon in the BBC Beach area. Multiple sources told GBN that several wounds were visible on the body of the deceased, who was an aspiring artist, model, and an openly gay man. Jointy's death came hours after he allegedly participated in an inaugural Pride event held in St. George's on Saturday as part of Pride Month. Pride Month recognizes the diversity of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning LGBTQ+ communities and commemorates the Stonewall Uprising, a fateful day in 1969 when LGBTQ+ people fought back against police mistreatment and discrimination. Jointy is said to have been employed at a popular restaurant in Grand Anse prior to his death. He was the eldest of his mother's two children. GBN reached out to grieving family members, including Jointy's mother, who was too distraught to comment on her son's untimely demise. However, it is understood that the family is planning a candlelight vigil tomorrow in front of the Plywood restaurant on BBC Beach in the area where the body was recovered on Sunday. Jointy was a close friend of Yvette Noel Shaw, one of American singer Beyonce's most trusted advisors and publicists. She recalled her first encounter with Jointy in a GBN interview on Monday.
I think he was about 17 when I met him. But I just loved, I didn't know that he wanted to be a singer when I first met him. It was more just a kid finding himself, finding his voice. And I loved that. And I love how bold he was. And then he started doing some modeling. And then towards the end, maybe 2 years ago, he did the album. I was very happy with where he was going. And, you know, we just formed a nice circle of young creatives on the island that I love talking to.
She says Jointy's death is a loss for Grenada's creative industry.
Was an innate creative. Music, art, dance, modeling, a film. He had done a film that ended up, you know, as an award-winning, critically acclaimed film. He was special. He was very special. And I called him, I teased him as my bonus son. I have one son. A beautiful light just went out. And I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken.
Mrs. Noel Shore is hopeful that Jointy's grieving family will get the answers they now desperately seek following his untimely death.
I pray that his death, which was sudden, is investigated. And I certainly hope that his mom gets all the answers she's looking for. And I hope in time that all of us who loved John T. would only remember the good times. You know, as I was preparing my post about him, I was laughing and crying and snot coming out of my nose and my tears coming out of my eyes because I was just looking at all of the fun I've had with him.
Meanwhile, police have confirmed that investigations are continuing and an autopsy has been scheduled to determine the actual cause of death. Additional information has not been forthcoming up to the time of this newscast. GBN will continue to follow this developing story and bring you details in a later newscast. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
One man was found hanging from a tree in his backyard in St. Andrew this morning. Neighbors and family members were shocked to wake up to the bad news. More in this report.
Neighbors identified the elderly man found hanging next to his home in Dunfermline St. Andrew as Vaughn Pursew, who is believed to be between the age of 60 and 70. According to residents in the area, his next-door neighbor, who would usually greet him every morning, saw Vaughn hanging from a fruit tree in the back of his yard. The female was terrified by the scene and alerted the authorities. The deceased, a widower, lived with his stepson and girlfriend, who were also horrified to wake up to the bad news. One person told the GBN news team that Mr. Pursew confided in her that he was troubled, and she advised that he speak to someone.
I know Mr. Vaughn quite a while now, many years. I know him to be a quiet, humble person in the community. He fixes shoes. He has a shoe store in the market in Grenville. He does repairs. I know he was having problems because he told me. And I did ask him to talk to people in the church. My son goes to church there as well. I met him in the doctor's office once. I didn't ask him what the matter was. But a couple of days after he came and looked for me and he said, "You okay?" I said, "Yes." I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "That medication they give me, they ain't working, you know." I said, "What's wrong with you?" He told me I have prostate cancer. But I know he had things on his mind and he wanted somebody to talk to. But I saw him last night when I come out and walk around around 12:15. I went back to walk 4:30 this morning. I get back home around 5:15. And when I reach home around 6:30, the person who I normally go and walk with called me and tell me, "Look at what happened."
Another neighbor expressed how polite and quiet the deceased was.
Well, I don't know him to the exact, but passing, he always in the veranda, or he always on the other side of the neighbor, always playing domino or draft. And I know he fixed shoes in Grenville in the market, and passing around, it's a very calm, quiet man.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is now investigating the hanging incident, and the cause of death will be determined by a post-mortem. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The St. George's High Court has started taking evidence in the non-capital murder trial involving Lamode St. George resident Kellon Andrew. Andrew was arrested and charged in March 2019 in connection with the stabbing death of Floyd Olive, who resided in the same community. More in Venetia Paul.
The doctor and the mother of the deceased were the first two witnesses to give evidence when the matter commenced before Madam Justice Paula Guilford at the St. George's No. 1 High Court last Friday. Attorneys Peter David and George Prime are providing legal counsel for the murder accused, Kellon Andrew, now on trial for non-capital murder. The victim, Floyd Olive, a 35-year-old painter, also of Lamode, was stabbed on the left side of his chest with a knife at an entertainment club in their community during the early morning hours of February 23, 2019. The autopsy results revealed that he died as a result of a puncture wound to the heart. The matter is being prosecuted by Crown Counsel Howard Pinnock, who has a list of 6 witnesses to give evidence against Andrew, who was previously represented in court by attorney Ruggles Ferguson. Andrew was 33 years old when he was arrested and charged in connection with Olive's killing. He has been on remand at the Richmond Hill prison since then. His trial will resume before Madam Justice Guilford on Tuesday. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
As the National Insurance Scheme explores measures to ensure the sustainability of the statutory body, the view has been expressed that the organization has been making significant investments in properties that are considered to be underutilized. A response was sought during a recent press conference from the NIS Director, Dorset Cromwell.
That property also has a significant investment component because on the ground floor, essentially, you have a number of rental properties. And I can tell you, maybe the Deputy Director can elaborate, but we have estimated to recover the cost of the monies that we spend in a very short period of time, if we have not done so already, right? So for us, it was more of an investment.
In similar fashion, Cromwell says they expect to generate more income from other properties.
The board and the management are making concerted effort to have these properties generate income, and we have proposals that are before the board. We have the Sandino project that we are looking at. The board are in discussion with the relevant experts to look at the Sandino project, and we have other properties. You would recall also that we had a number of properties up for sale, and we have actually gotten buyers for some of these properties, I believe at least 4, and a number of other properties. The other properties we are engaging in developmental prospects so that they do not sit there and earn nothing.
The government of Grenada has made public His Majesty King Charles III's first birthday honors to be bestowed on 5 Grenadians this year, appointing them to the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. For service to Grenada, former Prime Minister Mr. Tillman Thomas will be appointed Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, CBE, while Mr. Guston Jeffrey and Mr. Paul Phillip will be appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, for service to culture and sports, respectively. The appointment of Member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE, will be awarded to Mr. Pasupuleti Jita Kishore Kumar and Mr. Kimderlane Mills for service to business and culture, respectively. The birthday honors in some Commonwealth realms mark the reigning British monarch's official birthday by granting various individuals appointment into national or dynastic orders, or the award of decorations and medals. Farmers who have expressed interest in the recently revamped Agriculture Development Assistance Program, or ADAPT program, can now access their planting material.
Traditionally, farmers purchased yams and ginger plants from the Mervo Propagation Station. However, with the launch of the ADAPT program, there is a different approach. Farmers can now obtain yam and ginger plants at no cost through the Mervo Propagation Station. Farmers are required to cultivate these crops with the aim of providing planting material back to the Ministry of Agriculture. These will be deposited into the ministry's soon-to-be-developed Genie Bank. A diverse selection of yam varieties, including those sourced locally and from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, were distributed to farmers. Efforts are also being made to ensure that farmers are adequately prepared for the production process of both crops. As such, they had the opportunity to engage in a practical training exercise. Alison Haynes, manager of the Mervo Propagation Station, said the engagement with farmers will ensure an ample supply of planting material for the next planting season.
So the ministry is looking to provide labor
solutions to help you weed. In the case of yam, to help staking the yams, right, to help with fertilizing, whatever support you would need to ensure the success of the crop. Under the program, the ministry intends to do two things: to purchase at the end of the program the planting material from the farmers, so they're going to sign a contract. So it's going to be a contractual arrangement between the ministry and farmers who are interested in germplasm development, in producing planting materials for the next cropping cycle.
As part of the agreement between the farmer and the ministry, provisions are made for the ministry to purchase planting material back from the farmer at a later stage and at a subsidized cost. This buyback arrangement is aimed at ensuring a sustainable cycle of production and distribution of planting material.
Right now, yams are being sold at $5 and $7. We don't expect farmers that will benefit from this project next year. When your yams come into production, it goes on the market for $7 or $5. Or you even sell the yam to the ministry for $7 or $5. We're looking at a price that will be able to turn it over to the farmers again to increase production. $2.50, $3, so we'll be able to turn it over. And it would not be a loss to you because of the collaboration between the Ministry of Agriculture and the farmer. You will make a profit, and next year you will have even more planting material for yourself to expand your production.
The specific details of the buyback arrangement, such as the pricing and conditions, will be outlined in the agreement to ensure transparency and fairness for both parties involved. This initiative aims to assist farmers in generating income while at the same time contributing to the ministry's objective of strengthening the agriculture sector and increasing overall production. Christina John, GBN News.
Tonight's ISAW demonstrates true transformation on display. It's time for the GBN ISAW.
A beautiful transformation is highlighted in tonight's GBN ISAW. The Ministry of Implementation continues with government's Visible Transformation Project aimed at enhancing the aesthetics of the country. The beautification of the lagoon along the Kirani James Boulevard is part of this project. Before and after pictures of a structure in the area were posted to the Facebook page of MIT Minister Andy Williams. A wooden lookout, which was previously in a deplorable state in the area, was rebuilt, painted, and accented with white fencing. The area was then used to host a Father's Day Fun Day organized by Minister Williams on Sunday. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Notice is hereby given that the 94th Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of the Grenada Building and Loan Association will be held virtually on Zoom as well as at the Presbyterian Church, Granitang Road, St. George, on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023, commencing at 4:30 p.m. Shareholders are required to RSVP their attendance by contacting the association's office at telephone number 440-2108 or WhatsApp 459-2103 or email info@grenadabla.com. Virtual meeting details will be made available prior to the meeting. Copies of the director's report and financial statements may be obtained by members upon application to the secretary or manager at the office of the association or via email.
Refer a friend and get $50 cash back for you and $50 cash back for your friend on loans of $3,000 and over at Courts Ready Cash. Plus, you get flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply now. Visit shopcourts.com. The more friends you refer, the more cash back. What are you waiting for? Make every moment count with a loan from Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Grenada, get ready for the biggest Calypso clash of all time as Grenada takes on Trinidad at the 17th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Saturday, July 8th, Grenada Trade Center from 7:30 p.m. You'll get from your our partners, Hubbard's, Grenada Paper Products, Grenville Credit Union, Biden and Miners, Gittins Healthcare, Grenada Broadcasting Network, Guardian General, Spiceside Imaging Center, Western Union, The Agriculture Shop, Clear Vision Eye Center, Springs Food Mart, Dollar Savers Auto Part, Rise and Shine Supermarket, Classic Lighting, Victory Bar, Budget Marine, Dean's Mattress, Grenada Trade Center, Creative Do It Best, Grenada Distillers Limited, Catwheels Stationery Service, Blue Bubbles, PA, Rentals and Event Supplies Company, Dana's Tasty Food, and City Inn. Please be seated by 7 p.m. because this one will be epic.
Now available. Grill Master Takeaway. Healthy choices of dinner is available every day from 5 p.m. A solution to end your day with healthy, hot meals. Are you tired of fried, greasy foods, junk food, high-calorie food before bed, leading to a bad night and sleep? Grill Master brings the solution for you by offering customized, hot, fresh, healthy grilled food sustainable for after workout, your keto diet, and those who love greens. Let your last meal be your next day fresh start. Grill Master is second to none. Advance your order for pickup or delivery at 439-3737 or our WhatsApp number at 1-473-423-3737. Grill Master, second to none.
New era, chaos and LED. Get on us, Lord. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Watch mass and watch bacchanal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe. Soca not just for carnival. Watch mass and watch bacchanal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
All right, good morning and welcome back. Those of you who are just joining us, well, welcome on board. It's time for the conversation, 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. And just a quick recap of what we touched for the morning thus far. The word of the day, the word nudnik, refers to someone who is a bore or a nuisance. And the thought of the day, it's not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something. Yeah. I like this one. And I know Nadisha would love it. Yep. Okay. The King of the Grill is upcoming on the 29th of July at the Monrouge playing field. It's not that far away. So the grillers, I hope you have, all your ducks lined up in a row. Yep. Not that you're going to be barbecuing it. Well, yeah, maybe you'll barbecue some ducks, I've never eaten that. I don't know. Some folks do with ducks, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah, I understand it's a delicacy out there in Trinidad as well. Curry duck. Yeah. I don't even eat turkey, much less duck, right? Yep. And for those of you who are, asking and, soliciting information, yes, I'm feeling a lot better this morning. The cough is subsided quite a lot. I'm feeling a lot better. The fever is almost gone, and yeah, I'm feeling strong, Yeah. Good. Now, there's a story that is buzzing that it was not on the list initially, but I think it's important to give kudos when kudos is due, you know what I'm saying? And I'd like to commend all the parties that were involved in that rescue mission on Friday as it pertains to that accident of Point Celine or Morris Bishop International Airport with that private aircraft, and I've seen my old schoolmate Inspector Roberts from the Coast Guard talking and verbalizing himself. Good morning to you, boss. How are you doing? And I'd like to take the opportunity and say a good morning to the entire rank and file of the RGPF. These guys, they work hard, they work diligently. Of course, like with everything else, there are a few bad apples here and there, but there are really some good police officers. I can recognize one at the moment, Inspector Leon McQueen. Good morning, boss. How are you doing? Yeah, he's an astute officer. No compromises. He's like that. So good morning to you and all, colleagues, and all the other parties who who initiated the processes as it relates to that, as it related to that incident on Friday. All right, I want to play that clip, and then I'd like for us to, comment on it. Grenada is not used to having this sort of accidents. All right, so when we have a pending aircraft accident, it's something that is not relatively common to us. So the expertise that required not very often get utilized. So to see the way that they handled it and hearing the comments from the people who are directly involved, I think it's worthy of mention. So my television guy is going to play that clip at his convenience, and we'll have a little talk on it, and then we'll get into other topical issues.
The Maurice Bishop International Airport Air Traffic Control confirmed that they received a distressed call alerting them of the engine failure of a Piper aircraft en route from Margarita to Grenada, and approved the pilot's request for an emergency landing at the MBIA on Friday evening. Regrettably, the aircraft crashed approximately 14 miles off the coast of Grenada, which prompted the activation of the Grenada Airports Authority's emergency response plan. The pilot of the aircraft, Daniel Lazzaria, an Italian national, re-encountered his experience.
It was so fast, I really don't know what the problem was with the engine. And my only thing was try to make it in the water and not kill myself. I just wanted to glide and try to hit the water as clean as possible. I was able to do that. Myself and the passenger were not hurt, harm or anything. We just grabbed the raft, got on the raft, and just started praying. And I noticed the tower, we had an emergency, and tower communicated to me that they were going to immediately call the Coast Guard. And if it wasn't for the Coast Guard, I wouldn't be telling you the story right now. They were extremely fast, professional, serious, and kind. I have no word for them. And for the rest of my life, I owe my life to them.
The pilot said that during the ordeal, he was terrified that he would never again see his 7-year-old daughter and wife back home. He explained that as they sat in a small raft waiting for help, he was not optimistic that they would be found in time. The owner of the aircraft, Jose Gomez, also commended the Grenada Coast Guard for their quick response, as he too was worried about not seeing his family again.
Really, he was just praying that somebody rescued them, because there's no one to explain how he felt at the moment, understanding that their lives could have been lost.
Both men received medical attention at the General Hospital, where they were medically cleared and discharged. Inspector Dexter Roberts of the Grenada Coast Guard said they received the distressed call at about 1 p.m. After notifying neighboring countries, they sprang into action.
Minutes we were able to deploy an asset or send a vessel out at sea to really investigate the matter. The call coming from the airport said that there was a small aircraft in distress somewhere around 14 miles south of the airstrip. So we deployed that vessel, and they went in the general area and continued our search, or started searching basically. In incidents like these, there is a regional effort as well, and that is where the regional security system comes into play. So we inform Barbados as well, because that's the head office of the regional security system. We also inform Trinidad and Tobago, because they are the coordinating center for search and rescue within the southern region of the Caribbean. So it is protocol that we involve these areas or these countries whenever we have situations like these, especially for aerial assets in terms of aircraft to do search. We are the Coast Guard in Grenada. We're very limited in terms of aircraft, and the Trinidad Regiment, they have helicopters and aircraft that we normally would use to do search and rescue out in the deep water whenever we have situations like that.
Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Honorable Deacon Mitchell also commended all parties for their quick action, which resulted in the successful rescue of the persons on board. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Thank you very much, Rena. And folks, that's the story. And whenever the police are in fault or apparent fault, we beat up on them. Now they've done something very commendable, and I think I would like to hear from you, not just on that, but the speedy way of dealing with it, responding. Give me a call, 435-2041. Let's hear your thoughts. And like I said, aircraft accidents are not something that we're very accustomed to here in Grenada. So dealing with it as speedily as they did, I think that they do need all the kudos that they can get. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Minister. Good morning to your listeners and your viewers. I think in any situation where lives are saved, we must be encouraged or feel good about it. Because one life lost is too much, regardless who that person is. So I think we must, praise the effort, the collective. And that's where the issue of cooperation and collaboration and also practice. I asked a question, was it the situation that there was a bigger aircraft? Were we able to respond that way? And this is something we need to think about. So thinking about things, asking questions, exploring scenarios is very important, very crucial, and we should apply that to the whole of life. Many people don't think for one moment that you could have a major accident in Grenada with a plane points on a plane, something happening, like it happened overseas, and a whole set of lives could be lost on land. So these are things we need to be cognizant of. But in a sense, I know I wouldn't want to come back. But there's something I really would hope that you can discuss. Last night there was a very interesting conversation on the issue of education, really the exit exams for the children in common entrance. I have not got their name properly up to now, somehow. But I mean the common entrance stuff. And a lot of information came out. One of the things that captured me, because I was going to make a point on that if I got you on the line, was what the permanent secretary, Mr. Maureen, said. There was a thing about concern about the issue of people entering secondary school and you have to do remedial work and so on. But what he said was very instructive. We need to start at the preschool. We start off destroying the children's mind. I've said it before many years ago. A lot of the preschool and daycare centers are mind destruction centers. And I mean, of course, in the homes it's even sometimes worse. So we need to start from there and ask ourselves, what kind of citizen we want? Do we want a competitive citizen or do we want a cooperative citizen? Do we want a dysfunctional citizen or we want a citizen that is productive, responsible, and so on? And for me, we've been creating a predatory society where people prey on one another, they compete, they disregard, and in this case, since we're talking about disaster, I dread the idea that we will have any major disaster, particularly from the hurricane, because we are not learning to live together in peaceful times and in normal times. How we will live when the situation becomes precarious in terms of where you might have scarcity of this and scarcity of that, and nowhere to sleep and that kind of thing.
I think we have proven ourselves where that NM is concerned already. If you look at Ivan and the pandemic and so forth, enemies became friends during those periods. I don't think that is so much of a...
No, don't elude ourselves. Look at the fact that people are committing suicide. Even when they call for help, we're not helping them out. I mean, look at the incidents that are happening in recent times. I'm saying we like this in brother Sam Chan, go on the ground. We have to learn to live together, live in peace. People think that, and I think you folks sometimes encourage that, think that the only problem we have is political problem. So they will say, well, we need to forget the politics. But there are more problems that keep us apart. Religion, prejudice, all kind of things.
But Carla,
look how we responding to the issue of taking not disclosing the points or so that the student gets. Because what is happening now is that we have the beginning of the dismantling of the status and ego building.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Carla. I am one of the persons that I've learned with time that it's always better to see the glass half full instead of half empty. I've learned it. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Calling concerning the plane. What we have to do first and foremost is thank God for the wisdom He has given those security over here to handle that situation, because these sudden destruction do come and happen, but God is the one to be glorified, and thank God He has given them that wisdom to handle it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, caller. 30 minutes after 7 o'clock. Back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Eno. How are you going?
I am alive and thankful.
Thank you. God bless. At some point, we all encounter or have to call in the police for certain reason. And I think they're doing an awesome job. You see, we want them to come when we want them to come, but we don't know the situation. Sometimes when we call them, they are attending to somebody else or something else, because I think it's a very, very hard job, and we must give them kudos. And in a case like that, I want to say hats off to the Royal Grenada Police Force and the awesome job we're doing. You see, when somebody do something good, we don't say nothing. We keep quiet. But when something gone wrong, when one little apple in the midst, do something, we quick to criticize the whole force.
Yeah.
I listen to police the way they talk to some drivers. They give you a little blight. They say, you know what? Look at you going wrong. You're not supposed to stop there. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, they'll tell you go and fix the tire and change the tire. They take it to you.
Yeah, we don't say that. But if once you hear we start to get aggressive and they go another notch, we tend to condemn. But I want to say hats off. They're doing an awesome job, and that's a good example of policing for me. No man is perfect. We're going to get better as we go along. God bless.
Same to you, Mama. Have a good one. All right, let's take in some of our comments on our Facebook page. And all right, Kyland Nash says, good morning, Grenada. Yellow and more yellow we see. Oh boy. He comes back and he says, good job, Coast Guard men. Yeah, all those who were involved in that, in that incident. Yeah, the speedy call from the MBIA. They did not panic. Oh, an airline calls and say that they're encountering some problems. It's not something that they were accustomed to. Bam! Quickly, they called first responders, the Coast Guard. Coast Guard, set everything up and dealt with it. All right. Mildred Smith says, hats off to the Coast Guard. Love Child Kim says, good job, Coast Guard, on your speedy recovery for the gentleman. And that's good. Also, Mary Ebanks, well done to the Grenada Coast Guard for its prompt response and its successful rescue of the crew. Alistair Warwood Sr. says, okay, that is so nice to hear about our Coast Guard. A twist from the stigma. Only weed runners they are looking for. Oh my goodness. Marilyn Gordon says, good job, Grenada Coast Guard and everyone else who helped in the rescue of the men and the distress. Kudos to you all. Well, good work done. Sonia Mathlin Scott says, congratulations to the Coast Guard for a wonderful job. Well done. Arthur Langayan says, good morning, my brother, watching from Brooklyn, New York. Good morning. Papi, how you doing? Caller, what Marilyn Gordon says, caller, what you are saying is true, but it's difficult to change the way the world is going. It's not a world in your days. It's a changing world, very difficult in many ways. You cannot control people, but make a difference when you can. I love this. Brighten the corner where you are. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Yeah, congratulations to the Coast Guard one more time. It's not first time they're doing a job like that. We had a crash before, similar situation, and they was on the ball. And not only aircraft, many boats going on reef and incidents happening we might didn't hear about, but they're always on top of the game. Right now, all we need is a proper, big, good Coast Guard. Grenada need a proper, big Coast Guard. Thank you, Innocent, and congrats to the police again.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. All right, Alison Cox Osplund said, our Coast Guard did what was expected of them. I am sure if it was an international flight, they would have done the same thing. I agree with that. Now, we know that the Coast Guard always out on rescue missions with, with boats and so forth. But in terms of aircrafts, it's not very often. We had a similar incident in the past, but it's not something that is, a norm for us. All right. So in terms of getting the actual practice in dealing and handling with these things, it could be, sometime having not dealt with it before or not many times before, you have little glitches here and there, but they were prompt and to the point. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent.
How are you?
I'm okay, by God's grace.
Tell your good friend Mr. Langain good morning in New York.
Good morning. All right, be careful what you're doing, eh? Don't encourage anything and don't set up nothing. Be careful. So you're too regular with that one.
a match made in heaven.
Excuse me. I'm out of that one. Innocent, I want us to be aware of what the people who were rescued, at least one of them, the pilot, said. He wasn't sure what was happening, but the first thing he did was to pray. You see, we leave out God in everything. We just want to look at things without God, as though we're living in a world that God doesn't exist. The gentleman said they prayed. And that is why they had the response, because God activated and brought things together to rescue them, because their trust is in Him. When you trust in God, He responds, but we ignore Him and we still expect Him to respond. When something happens, instead of we asking God for help, we commit suicide. Instead of we asking God for help, we kill. Instead of asking God for help, we give up. But God is there and He's waiting. He said, call unto me and I will answer you. But we ignore God in almost everything. But I was so impressed when what the man said. They pray. The first thing you do is to pray, because you know God is a God who answers prayer. And I wish Grenadians would take note of this.
Okay.
And when something happens, we need to seek God first. Another thing I just want to mention, better leave it for now, because they have not declared what I'm suspecting, so let me leave that one.
Yes, I know where you're going. Don't go there. Don't go there. Have a good one. Thank you. Folks, it's 23 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m., you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, July 29 at the Monrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 get you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Alright, welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's 19 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and let's take some comments from our WhatsApp contributors. And this person says, "Good morning, Innocent and the people of Grenada. Time for those lawyers that govern the country listen to market vendors. We are tired. We are fed up. We need security in the market, proper security. We tired with those showers and thieves. We tired of dirty markets. Time to get it right. We suffered for years with that nonsense. Please secure us and our property that we depend on to make a living." All right, so the relevant authorities, you heard the cry. All right, someone else says, "Morning. The efforts of the Coast Guard are commendable, yes, but the absence of an aerial asset can be filled by a drone and a drone operator." Okay, point well taken. Someone says, "Good morning, Gordon. Stay blessed. I have to bring my grandson to Trinidad and Tobago for an MRI and other tests which can be done here. Look at the price, and I'm seeing $1,085.40. That's in US for 2 people traveling to Trinidad. That's a lot. I wish we could have gone back to the days where you pay $100 US and you go to Trinidad." All right, and that commentator also says, "Heads and hands up for Grenada Coast Guard. I suggest that we should have at least 2 pilots trained and at least 1 helicopter in Grenada." Well, I think so too. I endorse the statement. I think Grenada is needy of, helicopter service as well. Yeah, it might even, that could be a lucrative business in terms of general transportation. Instead of having to commute from Sates to Point Celine with, on the road, all the traffic congestion and so forth, somebody, bring out 2 helicopters and, that's a good idea. All right. Yeah, so those are some comments on our WhatsApp platform. Let's take next call. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Morning, GBN.
Hi, morning. Welcome to the program.
Innocent, one thing I would like, it seems that Jesus, Secretary, have a lot of statistics. I would like her to know, to explain to us how many people already died in events like that by not praying and how many got rescued. Thanks.
Man, come on, man. Left it alone. Okay, Alistair Warwood Sr. says, ask the past admin for the bigger and better Coast Guard that was offered by Trinidad. Our Coast Guard are capable of using what they have to carry out their duties. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, welcome to the program.
Okay, thank you. I'm on Mr. Innocent's program.
Of course.
Okay, because I'm looking at television and hearing him talking to someone else.
Well, turn off the TV and talk to me on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, I applaud the JUMP initiative. I think it's a very good initiative, but I don't know if I missed something because, yes, they're going to get free computers, they're going to get good internet rates, but what about those people who cannot afford electricity? I don't see, unless I missed it, that Grenlec is involved in this initiative. And another thing is I want to applaud Ms. Jeremiah for the way she speaks out. She is very vocal where others are very silent. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
You too, my dear. Have a good one.
Okay.
All right? Okay. You see, that's what I'm saying. And that's what makes life so beautiful and interesting. If we have everybody liking the same thing and responding the same way, then life would be boring. We need that, Good morning, caller.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the Coast Guard also. I think they did a magnificent job, and they always be working. So it's not the first time, but let us congratulate them because the person that they secure have given them good accommodation.
Yeah.
The next thing is the people that was given the Queen's Birthday Award. I don't know all of them, so I'm not going to make any comment on them, but I think it's a good thing when I understand and heard that Mr. Tillman Thomas is also being awarded, and I have no problem with that. I think that knowing that he was the leader of the NDC, there is no wrong. But too often we go too political when we have to give awards. And I don't think we should just look at it from a political point.
Well, I don't think he was given, especially the former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas. I don't think he was given the award primarily on his political career per se, but for his overall service to Grenada. Because
I have no problem.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that. Perhaps our politician may be saying, but I'm saying we shouldn't just go down the road of just appointing persons because they have a political affiliation. That's what I'm saying, but I have no problem. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
To an extent. I may not satisfied with everything that he do and say, but I think he deserves it, being the head of the party for some time.
Okay.
So I have no problem with that, but we should not just go down political way when we giving awards. So when NMP comes in power, all who get in award is NMP. When NDC comes in power, all who get in award is NDC. I hope we don't go down that road.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Now the awardees of those for the King's birthday celebrations, I do not think it has anything to do with political selected people or so. It's generic. Good morning.
GBN?
Definitely.
Morning, Mr. Joseph.
How are you?
In regards to the...
You need to turn the volume of your TV or radio down.
Sorry. I'm taking it out. In regard to the rescue for the... with the Coast Guard and the operators with the airline that fell at sea. First of all, I want to commend the men in the Coast Guard. I think that they are very efficient in understanding direction and learning to coordinate as to the mileage, because sometimes you send people to do rescue and such, but they miss the sense of direction. So I think they must must be commended for that, and being able to understand when a message is being relayed to them, especially in emergency. But what I would like to see, that's one instance. We have the Paul's Airport, and I'm just checking on if an emergency were to take place and the Paul's Airport is the only place that a pilot can reach. What will be the situation? I think that the way how the Paul's Airport is being abandoned, it should be maintained in such a manner in case you have to do some emergency landing or something of that nature. So we need to have overall picture as to how we need to be prepared in case of emergency, and we shouldn't just have the Paul's Airport, all tires, this, that, all things just abandoned like that.
No, it's really unsightly, and I mean, that's where I'm from, right at the top of the Paul's Airport. So Paul's Strip is part of me, and I think for the whole developmental aspect of it, the airstrip should be resuscitated, especially now with this common drive towards the resuscitation, if you want to call it that, of the agricultural sector, right? Why can't we use the Paul's Airstrip as a drop-off point?
I quite agree, and not only that, you may have the hurricane season coming in, emergency, something could happen to Point Lynn, and then you need things to get into the island in an emergency manner. So I think the airport authority have to look at the Paul's Airport, keep it clean, maintain it better than that, than you just have it in such a dilapidated manner, old tires all about the place, block up this. It needs to be maintained and kept, because in emergency, you cannot tell. The airstrip may have to come into use.
Let me throw a new twist to this. How do you think it would look, right, with the congestion on our roads? Our roads are so narrow, so poorly maintained at the time being, and so forth. What's about if a local or regional or international business person decide, okay, I'm going to come with a couple helicopters or small airlines, all right, small airplanes, and people from Sutters and so forth can drive down to their park, and then we helicopter them to,
I do have no problem on that.
I find that sound good.
Also,
yes,
the authority talking about moving business to the northern part of the island, hotel and different things for Livera. I think that the tourist industry also, if you come on Point Celine, you may not want to take a taxi from St. George's to way to Livera. You could have the same thing as what you suggest. Helicopter from Point Celine to Paul's Airport and to Livera. If you have a hotel or other industry, you will create employment, you will create other means for the development in the northern part and the eastern part of the island. So I think it is about time that they should put Paul's Airport into some use. Maybe get an investor, maybe a training school for pilots and things like that. Maybe some way where you could do plane repair, train young men and different things like that, and you put the Paul's Airport in use. It should not be a bond like that. Over 40 years, maybe 30-something years, the Paul's Airstrip is just sitting a bond just like that. And give some foreign investor to make use of it, and you will create employment, and some development would take place in the eastern and northern part of the island.
Yeah, it could be a revamping of the rural economy. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, tell you what we do. We take our final commercial break in the segment, come back with a wrap. But before we do that, good morning to you, Nimi. Neil McMeo out there in Windsor Forest. How you doing, Papi? All is well? I hope so. Cynthia B says, Agri-caller, innocent. As regards Pearl's Airport, I have been saying that, do something, bring back some. That is all part of the transformation agenda, you know what I'm saying? Incorporate some helicopters and things like that. There are some rich people around the Caribbean, Trinidad. Let them come up with some helicopters, or it sounds good. Marilyn Gordon says, people think that you have to go to church to acknowledge prayer. You can pray anywhere and be accepted. God, you don't need to go in and out of church or worship place to be able to pray or be a Christian. Only my opinion. Okay, I'm glad you say that. I don't believe in church, but I am a Christian who pray in my house, car, and wherever I go. Okay. Yeah, that could work too, but there's also a part of the scripture that says, do not forsake the assembling of the brethren. In any case, that is another kettle of fish, which we'll talk about. We take a final commercial break. We'll be back with a wrap momentarily. Don't you go anywhere.
Chaos and LED. Get on us, Lord. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Watch mass and watch my canal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe. Soca not just for carnival. Watch mass and watch my canal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe.
Whoa, whoa. Rock the box, we say, yeah. GBN, we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. It's a
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live. Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Coming up, visitors just keep flowing into Jamaica. We'll tell you why. There's hope for pancreatic cancer patients, thanks to top medical experts with assistance from the corporate world. The Commonwealth Youth Games are on the horizon, and the Caribbean's top junior athletes are already in fine form. One of the best getaway resorts, a serving of nature's gifts. It's all coming up on this station.
Welcome back. The final 4 minutes in the program. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Innocent.
How are you?
I'm alive, thank God. Thanking God for life.
Right.
I just want to, suggest to us that we be more proactive with water in terms of harvesting and collecting water. You know, just a few weeks ago, they tell us we'll have a dry spell from May to September. Papa God send the rain. I believe in Papa God. But, you know, I saw rainwater running off the rooftops. Lots of water with the free showers we got. And I said, Lord, you know, if one or two of us had cisterns, a lot of water could have been collected. So I said, we quarrel with Nawasa when we have a little when they regulate valves and we can't get water for a few days. But Nawasa have absolutely no control over the weather, over climate change. Remember, we depend on the rainfall for our water. But I am saying is we cannot take that back seat and think that the rain will always come. But while it's coming, we could do something. So I want to suggest, a stupid suggestion, I suppose, that, you know, going forward, like, for instance, the government is planning to build a hospital in Calivini there. They could build a cisterns on that compound. I could suggest major entities like hotels build cisterns to collect water.
Okay.
Even some new home builders can build cisterns. Schools, where there's space, so we could be a little more proactive. We may have to think about a desalination plant on the island, even homeowners, because you see the black tanks we have, they break, they burst.
Okay.
They're not.
All right, caller, we get the gist of it, but we're out of time.
I understand.
Okay. Thanks for your contribution, though, and I hope the people take the advice. All right.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day. Good. All right, quickly before we run off, let me do this. I need to be as fair as possible. One of our WhatsApp contributors says, "Good morning, Innocent. Even though there are children who are sick and the grandmothers alone can go, there should be people that should help the mothers to go and help them get the flight tickets to go to the other countries too." I'm not quite certain I quite understand the gist of that comment though, but nonetheless, no comment is stupid. You know what you're referring to. Mary Ebanks says the caller made some important points about Pearls Airport. Yes, go back and fix the Pearls Airport. That's my hometown. You understand? And a lot of economic activities can take place there. Boost the economy in Pearls. You understand? Yeah, that's yeah, that would be nice. So that all the folks from Dunfermline and all the estate in Dunfermline farmers can, start doing some more production because they know that their crops and produce can be, flown out. Yeah, good. All right, Marilyn Gordon says, "I'm on work, ready to leave, and I'm praying there is no place where praying." Oh my goodness. What happened with all you on this prayer thing? Praying is vital. Praying should be a habitual thing, like you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth. I hope you do. Come on. What's wrong with prayers? Nothing. Okay. Cynthia B says, "Years ago, my brother built his home and he did as regards with the cistern." Yeah, we have to start to build homes smart. All right. Folks, this is as far as we can go with the program this morning. All those of you who participated one way or the other, thank you very much for your participation. And if the good Lord spare your lives, we look forward to another conversation tomorrow. Until then, have yourself a blessed day. I love you. Bye-bye.